Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, it's December 18th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, once again bringing you all the news, all the time. Daddy is back. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Without further ado, let's get into the news. TNA has signed and re-signed a few people. Trent Seven, notable for his career in the WWE and Progress, has signed with TNA, and Kushida has officially signed with TNA as well. Eddie Edwards, already with TNA, well, he has re-signed with TNA. He isn't going anywhere. This is all very, very good news for them. Let's see if we can get a few more women onto the roster as well, seeing as how Deonna Purrazzo is a free agent. MLW, eternally, they responded pretty well to the lawsuit resolution between them and WWE. No one's commenting on it yet, but the word of mouth is that this can potentially get them a new TV deal now after WWE tried to screw them. Speaking of TV deals, there is a lot going on with the WWE and AEW. So Tony Khan has had talks with Warner Brothers Discovery about potentially putting Ring of Honor somewhere on their networks, as he did turn down the CW, and he wants to, treat Ring of Honor right. Also, AEW did not really know about the supposed talks between Warner Brothers Discovery and the WWE. There have been rumors for years that Warner Brothers Discovery does have an ownership stake in AEW, and right now the Warner Brothers Discovery wants to focus on first getting the NBA rights deal first before they make any moves with wrestling. And AEW may have a potential buyer for a new TV rights deal, and that would be FX. It sounds like they have been in the play as well, seeing as how SmackDown's moving to USA next year, which means they won't be on Fox. This could potentially work for AEW. That would be really, really cool with FX and AEW. That would get the Hulu though. It would work. And like I said, the leadership was unaware about the negotiations between the WBD and the WWE, and we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. I think AEW will probably end up re-signing with TNT/TBS, but we'll see where this goes. Okada is competing again in TNA. This is many, many years after his originally failed stint in TNA when he was presented as a Green Hornet character, and that TNA is old, that's dead, it's gone, and he's seen what they are now and has no problem working with them. Now, the reason the CW is focusing on acquiring pro wrestling content, remember they used to have SmackDown at one point. They want to start getting to the live action network game. So they have NXT, they have NWA Power on their streaming platform. This is going well for professional wrestling. Liv Morgan was arrested over the weekend carrying a little less than 20 grams of marijuana. This was in Florida. Apparently it's a felony offense, so we shall see what goes on with her. She's been subjected to a $2,500 fine, and there's no heat on her with the WWE. We'll see what happens. Thunder Rosa made her return, as we're on the getting close to the injury side of things. Thunder Rosa has made a return. Her return match has been scheduled for Collision this coming Saturday, as she will be teaming with Abaddon to take on Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I am so happy. Thunder Rosa is back, and it's taking place in San Antonio, her hometown as well. On the injury side of things, Kenny Omega will be out with an undisclosed. Sorry, it's not undisclosed. He has diverticulitis. He has the thing that made Brock Lesnar sick. Period. So he's going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time. Ilya Dragunov suffered an apparent injury at the 12/19 NXT television tapings. He was stretchered out. Could this possibly be a storyline with him and Ridge Holland? We shall see. Who else? Listen, there's a lot of injuries going on. Savannah Evans had some bone spurs taken out of her knee, so she will be targeting Hard to Kill as her comeback date. Charlotte Flair has a torn MCL and ACL, so she will be out for 9 months, and she just came back as well. So we don't really have to worry about Charlotte getting another championship match. Who else is injured? Chuck Taylor, as we discussed, is sidelined with an injury, but he's working on coming back. Gigi Dola, my wifey, is battling the flu. And one more injury news. Kylan Kane looks like she may have gotten injured at a Glow event over in Florida. She landed awkwardly. The match ended quickly, so we shall see what's going on with her. But that is the news, and we shall be right back with the week in review. Oh man, just got finished watching some more Truth clips. Dude is hilarious. All right, let's get into the week in review, starting with Monday Night Raw. This is Drew's world, and we're just living in it. This is Shinsuke's world, and we're just living in it. So we open up the show with Jay, and he says, Adam Pearce, you should sign CM Punk. And he also wishes Sammy a speedy recovery. Drew says that Sammy deserved it. Drew then beat Jay in the match. This was only going to go one other way. This is the third time that Drew has defeated Jay. The third time. Okay? Finn and Rhea reprimanded Dom and JD for losing the tag match, but also losing the North American Championship. And Priest doesn't like that. Like y'all weren't here. So like, what's the problem? Why are you coming at us? And he says they need to get things back on track. Everyone hypes up Maxine for her match against Rhea, and then of course Rhea dominated Maxine, but Ivy now stepped up after the match. I'm fine with a little mini horse fight. CM Punk signs with Raw. Seth comes out and chews into Punk, and Seth essentially cut the Hangman promo, the same one that Hangman cut on Punk, and Punk decides he's going to enter the Rumble to finish his story, and he's coming for Seth freaking Rollins. Bronson Reed defeated Ivar with a freaking superplex out of all moves. This match is probably, this feud is probably not over. Punk confronted the Judgment Day backstage, and Priest was like, yo, I'm still Money in the Bank, so it doesn't matter who's winning. Katana and Kaden defeated The Way. Imperium chastises DIY. Becky Lynch and Nia have a really good segment in the ring, and essentially came down to Becky saying, all right, listen, I'm tired of people talking, tired of people saying I'm only here and at this position at this point in my career because of Nia. And she also does the good job of hyping up Nia, saying you are a very dangerous woman. And Nia's like, I don't need you. I don't need to prove anything to you. I don't need this match. And she just walks off. Yeah, this is good. This is good. As long as Nia keeps doing this to Becky, this is going to work. DOI and The Miz defeated Imperium, and The Miz later wants a title shot again against Gunther, and Gunther obliges. And in the main event, Cody defeated Shinsuke by DQ after Shinsuke missed him. Shinsuke continues attacking him after the match until the Creeds come out to make the save, and Shinsuke gets in one more shot. Over on Dynamite, the Continental Classic is coming to a close. This show gets a fist. Joe says he will still protect MJF, and he wants answers from Hangman, right? Hangman says he had nothing to do with MJF getting attacked, and dares Joe to do something about it. Roderick comes out and says, essentially breaks it down, MJF is the devil. So we'll see. Andrade defeated Brody King in the Continental Classic, earning 3 points. Orange Cassidy will team with the Von Erichs on Rampage. We had a really bad in-ring segment with Ricky Starkz, Big Bill, Jericho, and Omega hyping their tag match, but we know that Omega is sick, so that match was not going to go down. We'll see if Jericho can find another partner, maybe a returning Sammy Guevara. Who knows? Toni Storm makes her way to the ring for Ruby versus Hijo, and Hijo wins. Wardlow says he will end MJF's world. Roosh defeated Jay Lethal, earning 3 points. And Jeff Jarrett and crew try to cheer him up. Jay White defeated Mark Briscoe. And in the main event, Mox defeated Swerve, earning 3 points, but Swerve's shoulders were up. This is interesting. The Gold League could end essentially in a 3 or even 4-way tie. We end with the Devil and his goons attacking Hangman Page in the parking lot. Over on Impact, we had the Hidden Gems episode. This is just featured a variety of matches that took place in different points of the year, and it was just a good show. I think Impact essentially we're holding water until we get to the TNA rebrand. Over on SmackDown, Roman Reigns returns, and he has multiple challengers. The show gets a fist. Roman returns and crowns Solo as the next tribal chief, much to the chagrin of Jimmy. You can see where his heart breaks. Randy comes out, acknowledges Roman, and says, "Yo, I'm coming for you." Roman's like, "I'm not thinking about you." So Randy goes for a quick RKO, and now he's got Roman shook. Carmelo Hayes defeated Grayson Waller to advance in the U.S. title tournament. Orton and Knight do not have any beef with each other, but Knight still wants Roman as well. KO defeated Theory to advance in the U.S. title tournament after hitting Theory with his cast. Roman wants Jimmy to take care of Orton tonight. Cross says Cross stuff. It doesn't matter because Karrion Kross always loses. Mello steps to KO. Damage Control, we had a hype video narrated by Billie and then announcing that they will also be in the Royal Rumble. And the Kabuki Warriors defeated Michin and Zelina Vega after some help from Dakota and Bailey. Solo reassures Jimmy that he is his brother, obviously. And Santos and Lashley both got hype packages for their U.S. title tournament matches. In the main event, Randy Orton defeated Jimmy Uso. The Bloodline attacked after the match. So LA Knight and a returning AJ Styles made the save, but then AJ laid out LA Knight and then walked past Roman. So I'm curious. Also, AJ Styles came back jacked. Over on Rampage, Orange Cassidy and Devon Eriks defeated the anti-JAS. Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal have some alone time by themselves, and they have history make amends and say they will fight with honor in their Continental Classic match. One of them will get a W. And I'm looking forward to this. This could potentially be the match of the entire tournament, just because of the history that these two have. The Don Callis family won a squash, and he essentially announces that they will have Freebird rules for themselves, as any two members of the Don Callis family can wrestle in a tag match. And the J defeated Red Velvet. And in the main event, Top Flight and Action Andretti defeated Penta, Komander, and Vikingo in a fantastic match. Over in Collision, look for me, the women stole the show. This gets a thumbs up. Claudio defeated Andrade, earning 3 points. Andrade's cheating got the better of him. There was no CJ Perry with Andrade as she's been out sick. Abaddon defeated Jasmine Allure. Julia Hart arrived and Abaddon attacked her after the match. So Sky Blue comes out, so we think she's going to help Abaddon, but she ends up attacking Abaddon team with Julia Hart. So Thunder Rosa gets off a commentary. Spanish commentary made the save, and now Thunder Rosa is back. I don't need Thunder Rosa as much as I love her to jump the line and get a TBS title shot. We were still building to Julia Hart versus Abaddon, and they even showed Thunder Rosa on commentary. So like, oh, you figure she's going to do something during the show. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass are back, and they want nothing to do with MJF. Nothing to do with him. But they are then challenged by Top Flight and Action Andretti for a trio championship match. That should be good. Orange Cassidy retained the International Championship against Brian Keith. The House of Black wants to know who loves FTR. More importantly, who loves you, Cash? Everybody loves Dax, but you, nobody talks about you. Shane Taylor is not the him that Keith Lee was looking for in a match that I just absolutely adore because I love all 4 of these women. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale defeated Diamante and Mercedes Martinez in a street fight. I don't think this feud warrants a street fight, but I'll take it. If you pay attention to AEW as well, usually around this time of the year, there's usually a tag team women's street fight. Seriously, there was this match with Willow and Chris versus Diamante and Mercedes. Last year, it was TJ versus Ruby and Willow, and the year before that, it was TJ versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford. I think there was another one featured Penelope Ford and the Bunny. Like, around Christmas time, the women get a freaking tag team street fight, and I love it. Mariah May wants Tony to commentate her first match. Brian Cage won a squash match, and Eddie Kingston defeated Danny Garcia, earning 3 points. Garcia almost had the match win, but he kept fluctuating between the wrestler and the dancer. He's got to pull it together at some point. Our matches of the week, and ladies and gentlemen, there were a lot. So from NXT, we had Dragon Lee versus Tyler Bate, which was very good. And let me be honest with y'all, most of the matches of the week from here on out are all AEW. So from Dynamite, Hangman Page versus Roderick Strong, Andrade El Idolo versus Brody King, and John Moxley versus Swerve Strickland in both Continental Classic matches. Especially Swerve and John. This was hyped up so much, and the crowd ate it up. From Final Battle, Ethan Page versus Tony Nese in an I Quit match. Kyle Fletcher versus Dalton Castle versus Komander versus Brian Keith versus Lee Moriarty versus Lee Johnson in a Survival of the Fittest elimination match for the vacant Ring of Honor Television Championship. Also from Final Battle, Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor. From also Final Battle, the Jay Briscoe tribute match with Mark Briscoe and FTR versus the BCC. And our main event from Final Battle, Athena versus Billie Starkz for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Just awesome. Just amazing. This is Athena's second time main eventing a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. She's already main evented more times and more pay-per-views than the other AEW women. For Rampage, Top Flight and Action Andretti versus Penta, El Zero Miedo, Komander, and El Hijo del Vikingo. This is the match out of like all the matches you guys got to see. This is one of the matches you just have to watch. I can't even begin to describe it. From Collision, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Martinez and Diamante in a street fight. I loved it. Our stars of the week are Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale for their amazing street fight, and Billie Starkz in her first true main event, the youngster, going up against Athena in the main event for a Final Battle. But that is our show. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the High Road Wrestling Podcast. New episode coming this Saturday, episode 155. And we'll be looking at the top matches of 2023. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, of course, the 215 on Twitter. That is our show, and I will see you when I see you. Peace.